Are they aware of your philosophies?
But there's no records kept. I'm just like,
yeah, those are growing pains that you're going to have again and again, especially where you're pretty hands-on. Let's talk about your USA contractors.
okay.
So obviously you can't outsource everything to the Philippines. Unless,
I would have to send my clients to the Philippines.
Right, exactly. Yeah, unless headquarters was there. And I'm just curious, I was just thinking, could you do that? Because a ticket to the Philippines versus $400 a month. I mean, there's certainly costs associated. But tell me about the U.S. So there's only a handful of people in the U.S. then that work for you as contractors.
Yeah, none of them are full-time. I have a client coming in for a day, so I need 2 videographers to help out for that day. So I've got a team of videographers kind of on rotation. They've also got their own businesses and things that they do on the side, but they put their availability on a calendar and we schedule them in.
And so are they aware of your philosophies?
A lot of them have been here when I film, and so they learn my philosophies that way.
They know your feelings on employees and entitlement and things like that. So they know to just
they do.
Just give us our 1099.
Don't ask me for any benefits.
Right. No, consider it. No, I know. But it must, does it irk you at all? I mean, if you're paying, when you're paying, 23 people or whatever, those wages, and then you probably have 4 or 5 that are making as much as the entire team in the Philippines or more. Mm-hmm. How does that sit with you?
So everything with my videographers has been great. I have to walk on. No,
I know.
But one of my he's no longer with our company. There was a little bit of resentment there because in me hiring him, I gave him a lot of responsibility and I wanted him to also leverage people in the Philippines. And I said, not every one of these responsibilities needs your immediate attention or you to do the task. I want you to kind of oversee it, and I will even hire you a few more people in the Philippines so that you can. The challenge was he did a lot of those things himself.
Yeah.
And so that's the part that's frustrating to me. It's like we could be a lot more efficient, a lot more effective. You're here, and I hired you for this reason because there's certain things that you need to be here for. But I actually take a lot of the blame for it because I took shortcuts. Here I am. I know that creating systems is my skill set. It's what I'm good at. It's what's brought me to where I am. But yet I turned over that to him to some degree. I'm like, all right, you've got these skill sets. All right, I'm just going to have you create that system. Go do what I've done. And when he didn't do that, why am I upset about that at him? So
he's not wired like you. Maybe it was asking something where he goes, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm not in your head. I don't
so like even like sometimes some communication with my team, it's like, well, just send him a message. He would come to me wanting me to message. I'm like, just message him. But admittedly, like he's got some great strengths, and it's sad to because there's some big shoes to fill in replacing him, and I'm just going to do a better job of creating the systems so that he's not a robot. It's just having like when we talk about taking care of clients, the personal interaction, that's what he's really good at, and he built some good relationships. But we didn't have the systems in place, so to have one client that complains to me, I haven't gotten any communication from you for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
It's just because it was out of the system. It's
right.
He didn't do it intentionally, and I didn't know, and we didn't do that intentionally to our client. But I just didn't create the systems. Another example is sales, and he didn't do sales for me, but I've had other people that I've not successfully done sales with.
To sell.
So what he did do though is he set a lot of people to me, and I would have the sales conversations. And for me, I have a very systematic way of tracking them. Are they interested? Are they very interested? Have I invoiced them?
Mm-hmm.
And where's their contact information? And I keep a record of people. But going back,
it's like your own little Salesforce program that you've come up with. Yeah.
But realizing, just assuming that's what you do. You've kept records of all these people. You know where they're at. You know their stages. Yeah. But there's no records kept. I'm just like, That's me. I didn't create the system. I expected somebody else to create that system.
Well, it's still early in the arc of the whole company. I mean, yeah, those are growing pains that you're going to have again and again, especially where you're pretty hands-on.
Yeah, and I don't say that as a complaint, because I feel we've grown faster than I ever was even hoping, and it's more of a lesson learned. If it sounds like a complaint, it's all right. Now I know I should have done that better. Meaning, this is what I'll do now.
Yeah, yeah.
I know exactly what they did wrong, and what they did wrong is
Interesting, but it was win-win-win. Like,
I don't know if it's succeeding or not, and I'm going to eventually get to a point like
not every business would benefit, or maybe it wouldn't be a good fit for